Hi, it's nice to see all of you. I'm Luke. I'm here to talk nerdy to you for a moment. I've been working on a library for P5JS, but yeah, it's cool. I'll talk about it. I have a day job. I teach at NYU's Tandon School of Engineering in the Integrated Digital Media program. A bunch of my students and colleagues are here. I am really excited that they were able to join me. We do all sorts of stuff. Once in a while I make software, and this particular body of software comes from the fact that I am getting old. So when Casey, when you were here, this is what I was doing. This is in Eindhoven. I'm opening for a group called Atari Teenage Riot. The shirt is actually velvet. I think the hair is a couple weeks past platinum. The two things you want to see in here is to my left is a analog modular synthesizer called a Buchla, and the big black kind of box on the bottom, you're seeing the back of a monitor of my computer from college. That's called a Next machine. Both the synthesizer and the computer were really good at working with sound. And I remember writing the sound chapter in the first edition of the processing book, which said something to the effect of, you shouldn't use processing for sound. And so this is some stuff I've been working on. This is all based on the work of the venerable Max Matthews. It's useful to talk about him for just a quick second, because there's an entire lineage of creative coding and creative computing that goes through the ears and not through the eyes that dates from Max's work at Bell Labs in the 1950s. Most of you would associate him with a piece of software that is named after him. There is a non-zero number of people in this room who work on said software, but there's a whole body of open source work, including something called C-Sound that was developed here at MIT. My particular favorite version of it is something called C-Mix, which we developed at Columbia in the 1980s and 90s. It looks almost but not quite unlike C, and the thing I would call your attention to is this thing called load array, which was all about leveraging the fact that sort of in an earlier era of computing, the limiting factor was memory. So what P5 Func consists of is a number of objects that are unit generators. One of the objects will generate things like noise or simple waveforms. It will also do Chebyshev polynomials, which are really useful in astrophysics, as well as distortion pedals. It also does stuff for FFT windowing. The premise of this is to be able to teach a digital signal processing class. There's also a bunch of easing functions, some of them from Robert Penner, some of them donated by famous new media artist Golan Levin, who's in this room somewhere. They can also do direct evaluation, so you don't have to fill up tables with them, so that's kind of fun. One of the coolest things is it will also do multidimensional array evaluation through a hack of the JavaScript expr command, which is the least secure thing in the world. So if you work in the finance industry, I expect you to be using this library extensively. And then it has a bunch of utilities, one of which I really like, which I ported from Fortran, which is an old fplot library, so it'll do a screen printer of any array you give it. So that's pretty fun. So I'm going to give this to you as a thing. I'll send it to everyone. And really, just to end this, it's an interesting thought, but you know, we should do some more things with sort of multimodal expression and sound. So thank you for your time.